Tension grips Minneapolis as Timberwolves dominate Warriors. The atmosphere in Minneapolis was intense. The Minnesota Timberwolves delivered a commanding 117-93 win over the Golden State Warriors on Thursday night. While the scoreline itself was eye-catching, it was an incident in the second quarter that truly captured attention. Draymond Green once again found himself at the heart of controversy. He received a technical foul after swinging his arm and striking Nas Reed in the face, a moment that reignited a familiar debate. How much is too much when it comes to Draymond's intensity? This marked Green's fifth technical foul of the playoffs, a concerning figure. It's not just uncomfortable, it raises serious questions. Once celebrated as a cornerstone of the Warriors dynasty, Green's behavior is now casting shadows over his legacy. Social media responded immediately and harshly. Criticism poured in. Discussions turned heated. One pressing question rose to the surface. How long will Golden State continue to tolerate this pattern? Draymond Green brings more to the team than stats alone. His emotional presence has been central to the Warriors' identity. Since the early years of the Splash Brothers, Green has provided the defensive backbone. He celebrates passionately, provokes opponents, and plays right on the edge. But what happens when that edge is crossed too many times? Online, the sentiment was nearly unanimous. Patience appears to be wearing thin. What's troubling isn't just the number of technical fouls. It's the refusal to change, even under the spotlight, even amid constant scrutiny. It feels as if he believes there are no longer any real consequences, as if time is frozen in a past era when his behavior was more tolerated because the team was winning. That era, however, is ending. If you're someone who follows the NBA beyond just highlights, if you care about the behind-the-scenes decisions that shape teams, then this is the content for you. We go deeper than the numbers. We look beneath the surface. This is where the real game is revealed. The Warriors' loss at the Target Center wasn't just a defeat. It was a breakdown. From the very beginning, the Timberwolves set a punishing pace. They stormed to a 13-0 lead before the Warriors could even respond. Golden State didn't score until nearly 5 minutes in, thanks to Jimmy Butler's 5 points. But by then, the Timberwolves had already taken control with an intense and physical style. Julius Randle came out strong, scoring 9 points in the opening quarter. Meanwhile, the Warriors looked disorganized and sluggish. By the end of the first quarter, Minnesota led by 14 points, 29-15. Golden State had a brief spark of offense in the second quarter, but it wasn't enough. They continued to struggle on defense and couldn't stop the Timberwolves' momentum. Then came the game's most dramatic moment. While driving to the basket, Draymond Green swung his arm and hit Nas Reed in the face. Officials immediately called a technical foul, halting the game and changing the mood. Plays like this have become a signature for Green in recent years. But in 2025, during a playoff series where every moment counts, such actions are more damaging than ever. They affect the locker room, the bench, and the team's on-court mentality. The Warriors lost their focus. The Timberwolves kept pushing. By halftime, Minnesota had a firm 56-39 lead. In the third quarter, Golden State made a final push. They activated their trademark third-quarter surge, going on a 19-9 run and cutting the lead to just 7 points at 65-58. For a short while, it felt like a comeback was possible. But then came a series of offensive errors and defensive breakdowns. The Timberwolves quickly regained control. Julius Randle hit a crucial shot, and Anthony Edwards, despite an earlier ankle injury, returned with renewed energy. He had to be helped to the locker room earlier, but came back strong. By the end of the third quarter, Minnesota had restored a 20-point lead, 85-65. In the final quarter, Golden State tried to rally. Andrew Wiggins opened with a three-pointer that narrowed the gap to 15 points. But the Timberwolves answered decisively. Edwards and Randle combined for 6 straight points, ending any hope of a comeback. With 6 minutes remaining, both teams sent in their bench units. The game was essentially over. But more than just a single loss, the result brought questions about the Warriors' future. There have been no public trade rumors or controversial statements. Still, the signs of fatigue are visible, and worse, predictable. When a team keeps making the same mistakes season after season, the consequences eventually come. Draymond Green is deeply tied to this team's identity. But now, fans and analysts alike are asking, is he still part of the solution? Or has he become a symbol of a successful era that's now refusing to accept its decline? Let us know what you think. Can the Warriors still turn this series around? Should Draymond still be on the court? Or is it time for meaningful change? Don't forget to like and subscribe, because the next game may not just decide a series, it could mark the fall of a dynasty. If that happens, the NBA landscape will change forever. The Curry factor, a bigger challenge looms. Following their heavy loss in Minneapolis, the Warriors face another major obstacle. Draymond Green's technical foul already raised doubts about the team's discipline. Now, things have gotten even worse with Stephen Curry's injury situation. Curry was already sidelined for Game 2 of the Western Conference semifinals after getting hurt in Game 1. That much was expected, but what came as a shock was the seriousness of his hamstring injury. Diagnosed as a Grade 1 strain, it's more serious than initially assumed. Curry has no fixed return date. He spoke candidly at Thursday's practice, admitting his recovery was taking longer than he thought. "This is new," Curry said. "I'm learning that this kind of injury requires a slow process. You can't rush it." He described his rehab as one that needs constant reevaluation. "It's not something where you're back in a few days. I need to understand when it's truly safe to even consider playing again." This news hits the Warriors at a critical moment. Without Curry for at least the first 2 home games, the team must adjust quickly. Klay Thompson's role becomes even more vital. Curry isn't just dealing with minor discomfort. He's unable to even shoot in practice. His recovery will be long, and fans hoping for a quick return will likely be disappointed. "I know how tricky hamstring injuries can be," Curry said. "They fool you. You feel better, but you're not ready." This honest assessment highlights why the Warriors must be extremely cautious. Rushing him back could lead to a much worse injury, something they cannot afford now. Still, Golden State has shown it can battle through adversity. They won Game 1 without Curry, pulling off a tough 99-88 victory. It wasn't pretty, but the defense, led by Green and Kevin Looney, kept the team in control. That win proved that teamwork can sometimes make up for the absence of star power. But how long can they stay competitive without Curry? Minnesota, led by Anthony Edwards and Rudy Gobert, looks dangerous. The Game 1 blowout showed just how high their energy and focus are. The Warriors can't afford any mistakes. With Curry out, the pressure falls on Thompson. He has the experience and the mindset to lead, but his playoff performances have been inconsistent. Now, he'll be tested like never before. Jordan Poole will also need to step up. He's shown flashes of brilliance, but hasn't been consistent. The Warriors need him to become a steady scoring option, even if he lacks Curry's superstar status. Draymond Green must also change. He can't afford more technical fouls or emotional meltdowns. Instead, he has to become a true leader, both in performance and mentality. Golden State can no longer rely on Curry to carry them. It's time for the rest of the roster to rise up. The big question is whether the Warriors can handle the Timberwolves' pressure without their leader. With 2 home games coming up, Golden State has a shot to shift the momentum, but Curry's absence makes that task much harder. What looked like a winnable series is now full of uncertainty. Can this team survive? Can they adapt? And will they manage to push forward without their heart and soul on the court? Game 2 will reveal a lot. Let us know what you think. Can the Warriors handle the Timberwolves without Curry? What kind of impact will his absence have? How will the team's mindset shift? Join the conversation. Like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a moment. Because in a series like this, everything is on the line. The Warriors' future now depends on how well they adapt to adversity, and whether they still have the fight left to write one more chapter.